Hello, my happy crumpers. It is the week of the World Championships, but I got a few videos to get out to you before I head over to ATL to represent the happy crumping community. So, today we got to learn about how the heck are we going to be more lucky on the battlefield. All right, first off, what we got to do is we got to understand what luck in Warhammer 40k is. Is 40k a luck game? Well, a lot of people think so because there is a lot of dice involved, and there's a lot of variables that happen. Now, then we're going to ask the question, are certain people going to be luckier than other people? Like, do some people just roll better dice than others? Well, do they? How do you increase your odds of being lucky or decrease your odds of being lucky? So, with that, let's go and get into the video and let's get lucky. First step into getting lucky in Warhammer 40k is to understand, guys, that there is no such thing as luck. There is only people who put themselves in the position to take advantage of opportunities, and people who do not put themselves in the position to take advantage of opportunities. So the first thing that we're going to do to make sure that we can always capitalize on the opportunities that are available to us to maximize our luck is we're going to know our armies inside and out. Certain army abilities are going to allow for a lot more play than the casual player may be able to see. I'm going to give you a great example right here. Okay, so we're playing World Eaters. Bear with me here. And I have my Corn Berserkers, and we have the Blood Surge rule, which means when you shoot me, I get to move d6 inches towards the closest enemy unit. Now, if you read the wording of that, it tells you you have to move directly towards the closest enemy unit with your unit. That does not mean every single model in your unit has to move directly towards the closest enemy unit. Your unit just has to go directly towards the enemy unit. Meaning, if you are shot, you can actually use this Blood Surge to say move towards the closest enemy unit, but also move some of your models to the side so that you can now stand on an objective. So what you can do is you can use this ability to really get yourself a lot more movement than your enemies might expect. I'll give you another example just off of the same ability. Let's say it is your turn as the World Eaters player, and you are moving your Corn Berserkers up, and you're ready to charge, and your opponent overwatches you. Well, happy day. Let's say they kill 2 of your models. Well, now you're going to take a Blood Surge movement, and you are going to roll. Maybe you get lucky. You're going to take advantage of the opportunity. You're going to roll 6 for your Blood Surge. You can move your Blood Surge in such a way that is now going to enable a charge on a different unit that previously would have been impossible. So, by using this ability correctly, you're no longer getting lucky. You're simply taking advantage of an opportunity that you positioned yourself to be able to take advantage of it. Guys, here's the key to having luck. Knowledge is freaking power. Know your army, know your rules. This type of scenario will exist in every single army, even if it manifests in a different way. Number 2, probability is your freaking friend. People, if you rely on probability, you're going to tend to get much luckier. Most people just don't even consider probability. Let me give you an example of this. A Caladius gravity tank for the Adeptus Custodes, it really has a great shooting profile. 4 las cannon shots that are +2 damage instead of +1. They hit on 2s, and they're twin linked, and it's going to have lethal hits against an enemy vehicle. That sounds awesome, right? Hits on 2s, twin linked. Okay, we're going to blow enemy tanks up all over the place. Is your opponent really lucky, though, if they survive? Let's take a Rhino, for example. All right, Caladius, I've got 4 las cannons. I'm going to shoot a Rhino. But the Rhino has cover because basically in 10th edition, everything has cover. And then your opponent's going to be savvy, and they're going to use Armor of Contempt to ignore one of the blips of your AP. Meaning that a Rhino with a 3-up armor save will effectively get a 4-up armor save, even though you have an AP of 3. Well, when you really do the math on it, your Caladius gravity tank only has a 47% chance of killing that Rhino. So now, did your opponent get lucky by your Rhino not dying? No. What they did is they saw the table, they saw what you were attacking them with, and they countered you. They're not lucky that they didn't die. They actually shouldn't have died simply because they used the resources available to them to screw your position. Here's a couple rules of thumb for you guys when it comes to probabilities and knowing how much you need to put in certain scenarios. Let's talk about charges. If I were you, I would plan on my opponent making every single 9-inch charge they ever roll. and I would plan on me failing every single 6-inch charge out there. This is a little bit of wisdom that came from Shetel, the admin in our Discord. Which, by the way, this is a great opportunity. If you guys want to get up to date, constant access to knowledge about the game and constant feedback on what to do in the game, you should join the members only Discord. It only costs you a few bucks a month, and it means the world to me and the channel and helps us keep going. So hop on in there. It is the best Discord, super open-minded community that freaking loves everyone there. Hop on in and get better at the game. Now, here's a quick hack for the probability. Before you declare any attacks, think about how likely it is to succeed. If the odds are low, what I want you to do is find ways to boost them, or don't take the shot and reposition instead. Let's use the example of the Cladius going into the Rhino. Is there a possibility that I'm going to fail to kill the Rhino? There is. And if I expose my Cladius to kill the Rhino and I don't kill the Rhino, now is my opponent going to be in a really good position to kill my Cladius? Potentially. Which means a lot of times, maybe I don't try to kill that Rhino if I only have the one Cladius. Now, if I have two and it serves me really well to kill that Rhino, then I'm going to do it. But if it's only one, a lot of times I might not expose myself because otherwise I could just lose my Cladius for free. So here's the key, everyone. Luck. It's understanding your odds. Let's go into number 3 of ways to make ourselves more lucky. You need to build redundancy into your list and your game plan. The Gene Stealer cults know this best. So we've got a picture of the Gene Stealer cults to really talk to us about redundancies here. If you're only going to have one unit that can deal with an enemy, you're bound to get unlucky and lose your unit too early in the game. Let's say that you're playing Gene Stealer cults and you only have one unit of the Achilles Ridge Runners, so the only way you can possibly ever kill a big tank is if your Achilles Ridge Runners pop off. Well, I can promise you every single time that is your only way to deal with an enemy tank, you're going to lose your Ridge Runners way too soon. So here's the deal, guys. Just giving examples. If you need to kill a tank, and let's say you have one las cannon gun weapon, and if it goes perfect, you can kill a tank, you're never going to kill that tank. You need redundancy. You need multiple las cannons. This way, you're not going to have a bad roll that's going to completely ruin your entire game plan. If you need to make a charge, you need to give yourself multiple chances to make it. Listen, I've won a bunch of games because I understand this. So a quick little story. We're playing in a team tournament over in Sweden, and we're playing against Team Netherlands. These guys are all fantastic players, and I am in a really bad matchup. This was 2 data slates ago, so I was running my Blood Angels against their Thousand Suns player. And Thousand Suns at that time had a huge advantage over the Blood Angels. We're playing on Purge the Foe before the changes, so when you could score kill more turn 1. And I went first. So the Thousand Suns player, who already had a huge advantage into me, had even more advantages because I went first. It was bound to be awful. So I had an opportunity. I saw it. I saw a chance to actually win this game, even though I knew I was going to lose. And in turn 2, my opponent gave me the ability to try for a 9-inch charge into Magnus. If I make this charge, and if I succeed in killing Magnus, then I can turn the game around. If I fail it, I'm going to lose anyway. So what do? One is I move a unit up in position to take advantage of a potential 10-inch charge into Magnus. I move another unit in position to take advantage of a 9-inch charge into Magnus. And then I deep strike a third unit to potentially have a 9-inch charge into Magnus. So I landed the first 9-inch charge. I killed Magnus, and I ended up winning the game. Was I lucky? No. What happened is I took advantage of the opportunity presented to me because I had a unit at a deep strike, and they innately re-rolled charges. So I happened to hit the first charge, but if I missed the first charge, then I would have gotten a second chance. So that gives me a 47% chance of making that charge. I had another unit that was a 9-inch charge, and they had a captain leading them for a free CP reroll. So that would give me another 47% chance of making the last charge. And then finally, I had a 10-inch charge that I could also spend a CP, because this was before the balanced status slate where you could no longer double up in stratagems. So what I did is I gave myself the best opportunities possible to make an unlikely charge. So when I made that unlikely charge, it really wasn't that unlikely, and it wasn't luck. It was me positioning myself in such a way that I'm going to make this happen. So guys, redundancy equals reliability. If you want to be luckier, if you want to see those big charges come off, you need redundancy. All right. Number 4, use your stratagems wisely. Guys, I cannot explain to you how many times I see people screw this up. Use your stratagems at the right time. They're your ace in the hole. They can turn a bad roll into a game changer, but only if you use them strategically. I see people blow command points on dumb stuff all the freaking time. Oh, I want a better advance roll than that. So they re-roll an advance roll in turn 1 to give them, because they rolled a 1 on their advance. But it has 0 impact into the game. Don't blow your command points early on. You need to save them for those super, super clutch moments when you absolutely need a key roll to go your way. Let me give you a really, really interesting example of this. I'm playing a game, and it's a big tournament league, and I'm favored to win the whole thing. And I just threw a game. So I'm playing. It's my orcs against I believe it was some form of Space Marines. I think it was Gladius. It was Gladius, yeah, because they had the Fire Discipline Apothecary with the aggressors, right? So it's like the go turn. I'm guaranteed to win this game as long as I make one of 2 3-inch charges. I've got a 10-man unit of knobs that have a 3-inch charge into his unit of aggressors. He's already overwatched. I have another 10-man unit of knobs, also with a 3-inch charge into the aggressors. And then I had a unit of Beast Nagaboys that had like a 6-inch charge into a Repulsor Executioner. So what I did is I rolled the charge for the Beast Nagaboys first into the Repulsor. I failed it. I said, you know what? I really want that charge. And since the other charges are really easy, I'll just spend my CP to re-roll this charge first. And then I made the charge from the Beast Nagas into the Repulsor Executioner. I then failed my 3-inch charge from the first unit of knobs into the aggressors. I was like, that's annoying, but at least I had the other one. I rolled another 2, so I failed the second 3-inch charge as well. Now, a lot of people tell me I got screwed or I got unlucky on dice. No, I did not. What happened is I did not take advantage of the opportunities in front of me. What I 100% should have done is I should have rolled the charge I had to land first. I should have rolled the 3-inch charge from the unit of knobs. When I failed it, spent my CP to re-roll it, and then had a third, more or less, re-roll with the when I went to the second unit of knobs to have another 3-inch charge. That would have won me the game. All I had to do was make that 3-inch charge, and I would have won the game. The charge into the Repulsor Executioner wasn't important. It was just something that was nice. All I had to do was kill those aggressors. But because I chose to order it wrong, it allowed me to become unlucky. Don't be unlucky, just be smarter. So the key to luck, save your stratagems for key moments. And lastly, everybody, we got to control the battlefield. I cannot tell you how many times people fail to control the battlefield. Luck favors the prepared. So what we're going to do is position your units to give yourself the best odds of success. Use terrain to your advantage and zone out enemy charges. Focus on controlling your objectives. I hear this all the time when I'm playing, say, like a melee pressure list that's made for control. And I'm going into, say, like guard or Tau or whatever. And my opponent's like, oh, you're so lucky you went first and you were able to move block me. I wasn't lucky, bro. I was positioned to move block you with my scouts, whether I went first or second. I had my scouts put in such a position that if I went second, I would scout forward, make it so that your tanks won't be able to move through the gap that you want to move your tanks through. And if I go first, I'm just going to advance forward and super move block you. It really didn't matter whether I went first or second. You were going to be move blocked no matter what. So that means that I wasn't lucky for going first. I was just positioned to seriously take advantage of going first so that I could move block you. That's not luck. That is called strategy and playing well. If you want to get luckier in the game, you should plan better. Tactics and positioning equal luck, everybody. It is that darn simple. And there you freaking have it, everybody. 5 ways to build your own luck in Warhammer 40,000. Remember, knowledge, probability, redundancy, stratagems, and battlefield control. You're going to master these, and you'll be rolling 6s all day long. Or at least, it's going to feel that way. Now, if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more tips, and drop a comment down below. What is your go-to strategy for turning luck into your favor? Until next time, may your rolls be ever in your favor. Happy crumpin', you beautiful Grouts and Gits. Bye-bye.